this episode of RetroBlasting's Plastic Fantastic, we're going to talk about the famous Veritech fighter from Robotech, also known as the Valkyrie in Macross. I'm also going to disappoint you, because we won't be talking about this. Now you might ask, well wait, isn't that a transformer? I had the exact same conversation with my 5-year-old self, and it went something like this.
Isn't that a transformer? No, it's a Macross Valkyrie toy.
Well, it has a Transformers logo on it.
Yeah, but that's because Hasbro imported them to the United States as Transformers. They were originally Macross Valkyrie toys in Japan.
That's Jetfire. He's a Transformer.
Wasn't he called Skyfire in the cartoon?
Yes.
And he didn't look anything like this toy, did he?
I guess not. Yeah, it's confusing. So here's the short version. Hasbro purchased the rights for the Macross Valkyries from Bandai and imported them into the US under the Transformers banner. Meanwhile, American producers were already redubbing Macross into English and calling it Robotech. But legally, the Robotech producers were blocked from distributing any toys that were identical to this Transformer in the United States because Hasbro had already purchased the rights to it. But it's psychotic because this is the Macross Valkyrie toy.
In turn, Hasbro could not depict the toy in animated form in the cartoon Transformers due to Robotech's existence. So the character of Jetfire was drawn quite differently in the actual show, and his name was changed to Skyfire. Matchbox, the distributors of Robotech toys, would make a non-transforming Veritech fighter for its action figure line, and eventually circumvented the legalities with Hasbro by making deformed versions of the Veritechs in miniature. Matchbox offered their deformed Veritechs in a variety of paint schemes to reflect the different fighters and pilots. These are the Max and Miria variants from the line. They might seem chubby, but they are quality toys that are rather hard to come by on the second-hand market. They are ruggedly built, feature all of the armor parts and the rifle like the larger Bandai versions in Japan, and fully transform. These armor pieces are easily lost, so collectors out there looking for one need to check carefully to make sure all of the parts are present. A really nice feature of the Matchbox Veritech is the rotating cockpit, which helps perfectly simulate the look of the Veritech in robot mode on the show. Like the larger Japanese version, the miniature can also transform into the Gerwalk mode.
As a collector, I hate to admit that the deformed Matchbox Veritechs are the only official transforming fighters from Robotech in the 1980s. Unless you count the Jetfires that came with the Macross decals still on them, but those are extremely rare. Now as for the Matchbox deformed Veritechs, they make great display pieces for any Robotech or robot toy collection. So if you're a Robotech fan, I would highly recommend you track one down.